I always heard, if you really want to make a change, you must change, start with self, start with your family or those, your circle, then community, statewide, nation, and et cetera, as much as it can go. But some of us, and I just say us, I'll just include all of us because we're all, connected in certain ways. We may get past ourselves, but getting past the family dynamic that may still be dysfunctional.
Yeah.
We're getting past the family dynamic, secrets that were never shared. And then, adults find out about information like, feels like my whole life's a lie.
Yeah.
So lack of conversation. I know I went on for a little bit, but
yeah, we still stuck. And you're right. I think we can do a pretty good job with self, right? At a certain point, hopefully we can, and hopefully we can teach others. But that family, I mean, we won't even. We got people still saying the F word regarding gay folks. We still have people, calling people the D word when it comes to lesbians. I mean, whether I agree with the lifestyle or not, I'm so not going to be, what do I want to say? What is the word I'm looking
Irrespective
for?
Of their choice.
Disrespectful. They got to make that choice. There are plenty of things I do on a daily basis that God might not be pleased with. And that's between me and him, right? But that you're not pleased with it, okay, well, look at yourself. Mm-hmm. Worry about that, right? But if we can't get those things, I mean, there's so much within the family dynamic that has to be healed before we can deal with community. And I think that's our biggest hindrance. I think that really is it. I think a lot of
times, like, we just learned that it's okay to go to therapy. Like, I feel like we just learn as people, like, it's okay to be in therapy because everybody else, they talk to a therapist. You need to talk to God. God don't answer me sometimes. He put me on hold a lot of times. Like, hey, you made that choice. I told you who to go talk to. You didn't do it.
That's the point. Yeah, he's like, no, I already told you what to do. But put all the professionals in place.
Yeah, I already told you. Why you over here?
See. Yes.
No, I think we're scared of that because, like I said, we're just now learning to be okay with therapy. We just now learning to be okay with being, not having to be a strong Black woman all the time. We just not like, oh, okay, we're just now having those conversations, not even dismantling, having those conversations that I think that, like I said, as a village, we lost because integration one, we took hold, well, so-and-so stuff is better than mine, or so-and-so's is better than this person's. The shoe shine place that I used to go to is not better because now I can go down here and get my shoes dropped off and I'm living the life. I'm projecting the image of what I got. It's just
the white man's ice is colder.
There you go. Sure. They got cool lemonade and I got hot iced tea. It's not the thing. I think we have not recognized how spectacular we are as people. I mean, if you list over stuff, I tell people all the time, like, I have a women's group. I didn't say that. Let's keep coming up with jobs. Where we sit and we are honest, like, write down 3 things you're proud of yourself, whether it be you put on your bra right or you drove correctly and you made all the stuff. That the little thing, I said, let's look at what you overcame, even the little bitty things, and then be happy about that. And we like, oh, that's just a thing you do. No, but it took an effort. You could have drove 75 in the 55. I mean, but we know the decision, but you didn't. So let's look at that. We are scared to hold ourselves accountable.
Man, accountability. Oh my God.
Right.
Don't even get started on that.
Let's not. Because I realize as a Creek Nation person, my family owned slaves. I was like, what? Huh? No. Not brother, sister to the night. What do you know? And just but then having to realize during that time, that's what this section did. And I was like, okay, I have to own that. And learning how to own even the bad parts about yourself, the flaws ain't always bad. Sometimes they fill in the cracks of what you didn't know and you can learn from it.
True.
Hey, I didn't know how much I needed counseling until I went to my counseling program. The very first class, I was like, I need a hug. Like after the first class, I was
Yeah.
like, man, I didn't know I have all this stuff going on. So it forced me to, look at myself in a certain way that, I didn't know otherwise. But that sense of accountability is so real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I want people to go away with accountability can be positive and negative, because I think that's what both of you are getting to as well. I can tell you Sunday school, one of the best books that I read years ago was Makeovers from Leftovers, right? Something like that. And one of the exercises in that book required me to look at and list out everything I've survived.
That's that
If we could do that,
Wow.
when I tell you that was life-changing,
Right.
because you don't think about that stuff. And to your point, Sondra, you the small things and then big things, but life-changing. So I'm challenging the two of you before the end of this year. Make a list of the things that you have survived, because you talk about king and queen and all of these things. Yeah, okay. And some of that's overplayed right now. No, but no, for real.
Yeah.
And if we could, as a community, do that and build from there, that would be awesome.
Because I think I have a comedian that always does. He always talks about kings and queens. And I said, sometimes, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I said, sometimes I've been the gesture. I've been the gesture in the court.
Yep.
I was playing the fool, acting. I said, and I have to own that too. That's part of it. That's part of the stuff that I didn't want to own. But like my friend, she wrote and we'd always talk about how beautiful she was, always dressed. I said was. She's always dressed, always on point. And she wrote a book called A Dressed Up Mess. And she was like, and because we talked about it, she's like, I was dressed to the nines. You couldn't tell me that. But inside I was a crumbling mess. And I'm like,
Man.
I mean, I knew as a friend, but I was just like, some of the stuff, I was like, what, girl, why? Yeah. But that flaw, that outside image was, everything is together. I'm all in order. Everything is okay. And I'll be all right. And
yeah. And we are so quick to point out that those things in other people. And so that's why that introspection is required for us to progress.
Yes.
Can't keep looking at everybody else. It's you. You're the common denominator.
Hey, that's why I kept pointing myself while you were talking. And hence, look, this is the reason for this very design. This is like part of the Black Regal collection.
Yeah.
It's a crooked crown, but it's a crown nonetheless.
Right.
I didn't understand my worth. When you start understanding your worth, although society may look at us crooked or whatever else, we are still royalty in many respects. And plus, royalty, depending on how you look at royalty. But having to look at yourself and that sense of accountability, I'm like, tell everybody, hey, I'm not perfect by any means. I'm just, I just get up every day and try to be a little better than I was the day prior. But looking in the mirror, sense of accountability. Like you said, Dana, often, you look at the news right now, if we could take any of the stories that's out, let's focus in on the negative, and we're just going to try to feed on that because they know that's going to get ratings. They know that's going to be able to drag out. Think about Kobe when he passed. Celebrating a life, they're going to bring up something that was already taken care of beforehand. Yes. They didn't have a problem cheering for him, when he was playing.
Right.
As soon as he passed, they're going to have to bring that into the conversation. So, sad to share that as well.
And I didn't necessarily mind. So I might be of a different mindset, but I didn't necessarily mind them bringing it up. It's how you do that, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I remember I made a post about it because of the whole uproar, and Snoop, I won't say the word that he did, but he made me very, very, very angry about his approach to that, because I think you can talk about it because that was a part of his life. And for me, I think that was a turning point in his life that made him as great as he was after. So you can't have Kobe's story and not say it, but it's how you say it. And if you're not going to address, like you said, it was taken care of, chick accepted whatever she accepted, he moved on and had this family, and then now they're suffering. Because at a certain point, if you're bringing it up just to be mean, then who are you really hurting? He's not here. And his baby's not here. So who are you hurting? by doing that, right?
That's what
and
I
that's
was
what we
referring
want to
to.
do is keep the trauma going.
Right.
Yes.
But you make a great point though, because
that's the thing of media. Let's keep it going, because without that, I don't have a headline if I don't have any drama with you.
Yeah. I mean, that goes to the same thing. So I've been following all of this quote unquote negative press about my dear soror Kamala and Madam Vice President, I should say. And it's stupid. Why? And so people are speaking out, but there needs to be something. Why are we talking about headphones? Why are we talking about a pot that she bought? She got money. She can buy a pot if she wants it. She didn't go buy pots.
Are they going to what's his name over Tesla saying something to him? Are they going? No, they're not.
No.
Are they going over Bill Gates? Because him and Melinda ain't with him no more, so I know he balling out of control. But we're not saying nothing about that.
Nothing.
So how about the media? I think that's what
media.
I think we trickled over into that topic.
Yeah, it's media, but it's them putting out what they know that we will consume. So it's our fault for consuming it.
Yes.
I mean, once again, the phrase "you are what you eat."
Yeah.
Your program, you're being force fed certain things.
Yeah.
Even when you're not thinking about it, you're thinking about it. You don't even realize it. Anybody up on Sigmund Freud, look up his nephew, Bernays. And he's the one that first brought the ideology of, people's intentions. So Sigmund Freud thinking about the mind, all right, what drives people in certain areas. His nephew saw a business opportunity. Well, let me see how I can cater to people's cognitive awareness for them, to force them to buy it without them realizing it. I haven't had cable since 2010. That's when I started the master's program. I was trying to eliminate every distraction.
Yeah.
And, seeing that after I've done that, I've seen a lot of changes. So with that said, how do you see the sense of media right now, especially with, people being more at home because of the pandemic and how that has been used? This question is for anybody.
You're like, oh, well, I deal with I work for a social media team. I think every time I open my mouth, I'm gonna say it.
Something else.
I stopped writing stuff down about 10 minutes ago because you added to the
Now you understand why I was like, you gonna have to introduce
minute.
yourself. It's too many. It's too much stuff.
You nobody list all that stuff, girl.
You know what? When you said write a list, I was like, I gotta write that. Like, I don't. If I write it, I probably would be scared. I'm like, oh, let me start telling people no.
But I work. You probably need to do that.
And that's kind of what I need to do. That is, you hit that.
Trust me. Yeah, you probably do.
Nothing ever was handed, all about respect, never about ego. Wish I could have retired a long time ago and disappeared way beyond the trees. But my homies kept influencing me, said they needed to hear my lyrics, like my flow, cause they felt my spirit. Plus the people needed to hear it, a conversation with conscientious lyrics.